So we're going to Detroit. We'll be talking about how well the economy is doing. As you know, the inflation numbers just came out, and we have very low inflation. So that would give Tulane Powell the chance to give us a nice, beautiful, big rate cut, which would be great.
Mr. President, thank you very much. For the record, I do think I'd have this job, even if the other guys won.
Yeah, but at a lesser salary. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you that. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. They thought that was a great move. And you feel safe. You feel safe. I don't think if we took them out, even if the crime wasn't much, it would definitely be more. We did a great job in Chicago. They don't want to talk about it. We, against all this slob of a governor, this stupid slob, who's the family threw him out of the business. He was a dope, and the Pritzker family. But they threw him out of the business. And the mayor, he's a low IQ person, extremely low IQ.
This is exactly the kind of practical change that will make America healthy again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. We have some milk here. It's been sitting here for 5 days, so. It's from the original bottle, and I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of it. Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking after, it's right here, it's yours, okay? It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old.
When will you meet with Machado this week?
Looking for something to grab here because it's going to get rough, and I don't seem to be in a very. I think you did this to me. You put me in a position where there's absolutely nothing to grab.
Mr. President.
So I'm looking for something to grab, and it's not going to be Caroline.
Mr. President.
Doing it worldwide because we don't want ships taken by Somalia pirates. But what they are doing is they're stealing money from the American taxpayer. And every one of them should be forced to leave this country, including Ilhan Omar, who's a total crook. And she's one of the leaders of it. Not the only, because she's not that smart. But think of it. $19 billion at least they've stolen from Minnesota and from the United States. It's actually more from the United States because Minnesota puts in, and we're not going to pay it anymore. We're going to have Waltz go pay. We're not going to pay them, and we're not going to pay California, and we're not going to pay Illinois with that big slob of a governor that they have that doesn't want to. We brought down crime by 25%. He didn't do anything. He's not doing anything. The process, and it's having a great impact. Interest rates are falling very rapidly. Not only for that reason, for other reasons too, but interest rates are falling very rapidly. With no help from the Fed, because we have a total stiff at the Fed. We should give everybody, like, these competency tests, right? The cognitive, they call it cognitive. I'm the only president that went for cognitive. I think every president and vice president should be forced to take cognitive exams, mental tests, like, are they intelligent?
Any commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir? Yeah. Which have Exxon,
No, I don't want to say. No, I didn't like Exxon's response. We have so many that want it. I'd probably be inclined to keep Exxon out. I didn't like their response. They're playing too cute.
What backstops or guarantees have you told the oil companies that you're willing to provide?
Guarantees that they're going to be safe, that there's going to be no problem, and there won't be. There's not going to be a problem. They had problems in the past because they didn't have Trump as a president. They had stupid people. He's a tough cookie. He was dead. I went to the hospital. His wife was crying so much. She was a mess. Oh, yeah, she loves you. That's the only thing I learned about Steve, that he has a wife who loves him. Because I've gone to hospitals where guys are in bad shape and the wife couldn't care less. She's looking for the next guy. Who's the next guy down the pike? Who the hell is the next guy? He's died. I said, it's so bad. Oh, yeah. I had one where the dog died and the husband died at the same time. I said, it's so sad. Yes, I love this dog so much. She couldn't give it, and the guy left her a fortune. Can you imagine? He shouldn't have left her anything, but she was much more concerned. Still, the dog was devastated. The husband, he was like an afterthought. Your wife loves you, Steve. She's a great wife. And after going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out, don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
Are you and Senator Graham discussed additional Russia sanctions?
We discuss it all the time. There's nothing else I talk to him. I don't consider him very exciting to talk to, except when we're talking about legislation. And we talk about legislation all the time. You think that's an exciting relationship? It's not. I think you should sign that. Yeah, that's a big deal. A general did a great job, was elevated to forces. And I had the general in, and I signed it in front of him, held it up. You know, you got to sign it. You can't give it to an auto pen. And you can always tell an auto pen. One thing, it has two little tiny dots. You know that? Two little dots. You know what that's from? Two pins. They go bing, bing.
One thing we haven't heard you specifically react to is the Minnesota fraud that we've seen play out.
Well, it just doesn't get worse. I've reacted. It's almost not even believable. This very stupid, low IQ governor, he's a very stupid man, because, you know, I had a campaign against him with JD, and he's a stupid man. You know, they'd put an eighth of an ounce on, and she's going to break the record for her mom, who's sitting in the front with her father. I'm going to break it. And she's out there. We're adding 1/8 of an ounce to each side. This record has stood, ladies and gentlemen, for 18 years. But she's going to do it. She's looking to get into the Olympics, right? And she gets up, and they put a little tiny thing like this, little thing. And my wife, by the way, my wife hates when I do this. She said, you know, she's a very classy person, right? She said, it's so unpresidential. I said, but I did become president. You know, she hates when I dance. I said, everybody wants me to dance. Darling, it's not presidential. She actually said, could you imagine FDR dancing? She said that to me. And I said, there's a long history that perhaps she doesn't know. Because he was an elegant fellow, even as a Democrat, right? He was the attack by Japan, you know, he was quite elegant. But he wouldn't be doing this, but nor would too many others. But she says, darling, please, the weightlifting is terrible. And I have to say this, the dancing they really like. She said, they don't like it, they're just being nice to you. I said, that's not right. The place goes crazy. They're screaming, dance, please. But the weightlifting, but no, the girl gets up. And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, yeah. But she gets it, and drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying. Guy gets up. He said, have you lifted before? A little bit. And he walks up, bing. He could have gone ding, 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 ding. I think it was 112 pounds, huh? It's crazy. But we're hitting them so hard, and it's very similar. Same missile system. It's called Deadly Accurate. And do you notice that ships aren't being taken anymore? The pirates are...
That's right. I hadn't thought about that.
The pirates aren't... Well, no.
No Somali pirates.
It's actually very easy. They head out, we say, guess what? There's pirates. Bing, that's the end of the pirates.
in the instance of U.S. strikes against U.S. assets in the Middle East. What do you say to U.S. service members about why it's worth the risk to intervene in Iran?
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew them up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So Iran said that the last time. They better behave. Greenland should make the deal because Greenland does not want to see Russia or China take over. They don't go there. It's very far away from Greenland. And Greenland, basically, their defense is 2 dog sleds. Do you know that?